Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Mashiach, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, YAHAWADAH. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to my Akim and Akwat out there who are diligently waiting to be delivered. And today's topic, I'm going to go in. This is Brother Kawakab coming at you another lesson. Today's topic, I'm going to be talking about different types of demons, okay? Because I had, initially, I was under the impression that, for the most part, demons were, when someone was, just acting bugged out in a over the top type of way. But, as I had recently learned, someone could be a demon and they could be very calm. But first, let's read this scripture so we can prove that there are many different types of demons. So Ecclesiastes, Sirach chapter 39, verse 28, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In time of their destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hail, famine and death, and all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. Okay. Basically, the main thing is all these evil things, all these things that if it happens to you, you would consider it evil. Okay, not that it's wicked to do stuff, but you don't want evil to fall upon you, and this would be, evil in general. All right. So now, I was watching this video, and I thought it was a very thing that a demon is talking about it, but maybe he's not. I shouldn't judge too quickly. But anyway, let's see what he says.
There is something
very context. This is at 503.
Say it pronoun.
Okay, yeah. So very quickly, they're calling themselves, the context in this video is that these two are calling themselves demons. All right.
There is something very on the nose about this. In fact, in the Gospels, when Jesus encountered demon-possessed people, they would sometimes go by they, them pronouns because there was more than one demon infesting the person. And so we may be able to draw some connections and analogies here. But I'm afraid that a lot of people on the sane side of the ideological spectrum might see this sort of thing and make the same mistake they made with gender.
Okay, well, anyway, because I don't want to get too much into this, but basically this video, but basically what he was saying, which again, I didn't really notice this myself. I don't really keep up with them, with those alphabet gang like that. All right, I just, whenever I hear I don't keep up with them at all. Like if I hear something in a completely unrelated sense, then like this video, that's where I get my alphabet news from. So now, let me get this. Mark chapter 5, surprisingly, I'm actually going to be proving his point. Okay, Mark chapter 5, verse 7, and cried with a loud voice and said, What have I to do with thee, YAHAWASHI, thou son of the most high Yahawah? I adjourn thee by Yahawah that thou torment me not. For he said unto him, Come out of the man, thou unclean spirit. So YAHAWASHI is being spoken to by a demon. Okay. Now verse 9, and he asked him, What is thy name? And he answered, saying, My name is Legion, for we are many. Okay, so there was a man. YAHAWASHI was talking to a demon that had possessed a man. All right, and the demon had said, We are many. He referred to himself, we, because there are multiple demons, possessing that man. And again, just as this guy had said, which again, I say again a lot, but it very much so proves his point that he's actually, for once in his life, Esau is, speaking the truth. Okay. Now, whatever's demons. Okay. Slovakia. That's pretty funny. But you have these two demons that are actually calling themselves demons. They and they them. Like it's damn near like demon is the demons are actually speaking. All right. When normally a person wouldn't be able to speak to a demon like that. All right. But the demons are letting themselves revealing themselves, trying to push that norm. Okay. Now, Revelation chapter 16, verse 13, I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. For they are the spirits of devils working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, and to gather them to the battle of that great day of Yahweh Almighty. So now, again, it's all this demon stuff. There are demons all over the world. Let me get this. Slovakia. I won't. Okay, well, the main thing is, that's what is going on right now, because that whole alphabet stuff, it's being pushed out primarily in Babylon, and as it's being pushed out in Babylon, being normalized in Babylon, now they're making their way all throughout other countries. Okay, and a majority. I want to say a majority of these other countries are in fact, picking up this Babylonian doctrine. Okay, it's very normal there, because there's one video that had become very popular and had become a meme. Yeah, it's in Africa. I was about to say Jamaica, but yeah, not for him. These this was in Africa, and
why are you gay?
This is a main thing is, they're part of the Alphabet Gang. I remember watching the interview. It was pretty ridiculous. It lacked productivity. Okay, I'll say that. Like nothing. It seemed like it was really just entertainment on something that seems to be a news thing, a news network. Okay, but yeah, that was the main thing, and obviously, the main thing that most people found funny about it was the pastor that came on afterwards.
Welcome back.
Here,
this is the
perfect.
topic of whatever you're doing at the moment.
What do you mean? So I shouldn't be dressed because of that?
Legally, is there any legal justification for homosexuality?
I told you I'm a human rights
Oh yeah, so
defender.
this pastor was honestly, in hindsight, he was just he was basically, I don't even know if I can put this, I mean, I probably can because it's still up here, but jokes and saying, oh, this is what you do with hot dog and whatever, and some stuff like that. But yeah, Matthew 12, verse 43, when the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest, and findeth none. Now, ask my brother about this, and he told me, sometimes when you are reading in the scriptures, it's best to, sometimes it's okay to look at the NLT version, because there are some parts that are actually very faithful in translation as well as more clear. Okay. For this in particular, verse 43, it's spirit leaves a person, it goes to the desert. So it's trying to make the differentiation that it's the evil spirit. Okay, it's not the person that's taking its leave. Okay, so it in the KJV it says, when the evil spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places. So it's saying that the evil spirit is the he in this is the evil spirit. It's not the man. All right. And I'd been confused. I had the general breakdown, but I was still a bit unclear on who the he was referring to. But basically, when the evil spirit leaves the man, okay, the evil spirit's like gone. All right. Oh, and this is basically the general thing, like what happens when you are if you are 2/3, you hear this word, and then it resonates with you for a second, then you just go back to your wickedness. That's basically what it is. Like you say, what, that makes sense, and then you don't take it seriously. You don't go and say, what, let me go make that change. Okay, let me get this precept. Psalms. Oh, and Slovakia. Now I see. I was like, what the heck? Psalm 119, verse 60, I made haste and delayed not to keep thy commandments. So this is the thing that you have to look out for. If you hear this word and you don't take it seriously, you just say, okay, whatever, I'll do it tomorrow, and tomorrow never comes, then you're just gonna let me read this. Continue reading. Verse 44. Then he said, I will return into my house from whence I came out, and when he is come, he findeth it empty, swept, and garnished. Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself, and they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of that man is worse than the first. Even so shall it also be. Even so shall it be also unto this wicked generation. Okay, and the NLT says, verse 44, then it says, I will return to the person I came from. So it returns and to find its former home empty, swept, and in order. Then the spirit finds 7 other spirits more evil than itself, and they all enter the person and live there. So that person is worse off than before. That will be the experience of this evil generation. Okay, so that's the whole thing, that in general, not the norm, but in general, when someone's just straight up wicked, if which the context in this actual chapter was when they were asking, the scribes were asking YAHAWASHI to give them a sign that he is from the Most High Yahweh. Okay, and he basically was saying that, okay, well, no, because if I did give you a sign, then you guys will marvel at the sign, and you say you believe. Then initially, at first, you may think you believe, but then when later on down the line, you're gonna be even more wickedness. Okay, and that's actually a thing, a good point, because that's that's kind of how, like, well, I don't know from experience, but it seems like how atheists are born. Okay, because when atheists atheists, they try their hardest to just disprove of the Most High. Like, that's kind of like their life goal. All right, it's not a matter of, okay, well, I don't believe in God, so I'm gonna go do whatever I want. I'm just gonna focus on blah blah blah. But it's not that. It's just the Most High is still in their head. He lives in their head rent free, and they can't do anything about it. That's why they're trying their hardest to just, when they're trying to convince someone that the Most High doesn't exist, they're really trying to convince themselves. That's their own validation. That's how they validate their belief. All right. So, that's a very important thing to note when these people are, when someone receives an evil spirit, okay, or when someone gets rid of an evil spirit, many more come and they're worse off. All right. Now, Proverbs chapter 4, verse 14: enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of evil men. Avoid it, pass not by it, turn from it and pass away, for they sleep not except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall. So the main thing is, you need to watch out for these wicked people, Edomites, wicked Israelites, wicked Babylonians, wicked whoever. Okay, stay away from them, because one of the things is, which honestly, I'm gonna make a video. I'm going to make another video on this topic, but like, this is what happened with me personally, with a neighbor. This guy who lives in the same apartment building as me, he just every day, literally every day, something to try to get on my nerves. Like, it was crazy. He just kept on bothering me, doing something, banging, making noise, trying to go fuck up my car or something. Like, he was being a complete demon. All right. And every time we would prevent, primarily the car getting fucked up, he would never go to sleep. Okay. And for me, sometimes for me personally, I really do need sleep. I really need to sleep. I really want to go to sleep at night, but sometimes I can't, because he's just doing some thing. He's like causing some trouble, or I have to go to work at night, which, there's that. So for me, like, I get my sleep schedule fucked up because I have to make sure he doesn't go mess up my only means of transportation. All right. So because that dude has multiple, I'm not even gonna say one, he has multiple demons on him that's just making him a complete, crazy ass devil. All right. He's just wild. 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 14: but the Spirit of the Most High departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from the Most High troubled him. Okay, so another thing you have to look out for is, if you are dealing with you, all right, you're going to be susceptible to having evil spirits get on you. Okay, so you have to make sure that you're doing what you are supposed to be doing. You're staying in the spirit. Okay, you're not slacking. All right, it's very hard to let me get this. It's very hard to stay in spirit. Matthew chapter 26, verse 41: watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. Okay, so your spirit, might be able to say, okay, I can take this X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, but your flesh, you're gonna be like, oh no, I can't. Like, this is too much for me. Like, and then you could be, exhausted or whatever, but your spirit is, your spirit can say, I can do this. Or better yet, your spirit is a perfect example. Your spirit could be saying, oh, I'm not going to take the MLTB, the Karagma. Okay, that's not even an option for me. But when the actual time comes, and you're starving, you're whatever, then that's when the flesh is weak, and say your flesh will be saying, please just give me, I'll do whatever, help me out, like that type of stuff. Okay, so that's why you have to watch out for this type of stuff. Okay, yes, and in addition to that, don't get too cocky and think that you can take anything or everything is free. All right, like we're still in our flesh. We have not yet received our spiritual bodies. All right. Slakia, 2 Chronicles chapter 18, verse 21, and he said, I will go out and be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And the Most High said, thou shalt entice him, and thou shalt also prevail. Go out and do even so. Okay, there's gonna be a lying spirit. Edit this. Matthew chapter 17, verse 14. And when they were come to the multitude, there came to him a certain man, kneeling down to him, saying, Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is lunatic and sore vexed, for oft times he falleth into the fire and oft into the water. And I brought him to thy disciples, and they could not cure him. Then Yahushua answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him hither to me. And verse 18, and Yahushua rebuked the devil, and he departed out of him, and the child was cured from that very hour. Then came the disciples to Yahushua apart and said, Why could not we cast him out? And Yahushua said unto them, Because of your unbelief, for verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, Remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. Howbeit this kind goeth not out, but by prayer and fasting. So one of the things that if you have demons in your life, or if you have demons in you, the best way to get rid of them is to pray and fast. Okay, prayer and fasting. Okay, which is another thing that helps in staying spiritual, as well as it helps you. And when I say helps you stay spiritual, by extension, it's helping you, being more in touch with your spirit and less with your flesh. Because if you're not fasting, if you're not disciplining yourself, okay, you're not taking the initiative to discipline yourself through fasting. You're going to be one of those people that take the MOTB, okay, because you're going to be too used to being fleshly or carnal that you're going to say, okay, I cannot deal with hunger. I need to just eat, okay, and which you gotta avoid that by fasting and just praying and calling on the Most High to help us. And with that, I hope this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahawah, Ba'ashem Mashiach Yahawashi, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. Do honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And with that, I want to say Shalom.